Welcome back, my people. Welcome back. It is great to connect with our audience and everybody who's been supporting Mind, Your Body, and Soul, the healthiest podcast you've ever heard in your life. I am Joseph Ward, and joining me today is our new case manager, the newest member of our Ryan White team, Miss Cara, aka Miss Cara, Ninja Ninjitsu Brown. How you doing, Miss Cara?
I'm well, Joseph.
You gonna show us your ninja moves today?
Maybe later.
No, we want to see it right now. Well, shout out to Mathias, Ian, and everybody who helps with the podcast. They couldn't make it today, but Miss Cara and I are going to have a very enriching conversation today about 5 wishes. And we're not talking about genies and everything. 5 wishes, though. But before we get to that, remember that Mind, Your Body, and Soul is a podcast that's hosted by myself, Joseph Ward, and Mathias Sweet. And we are an educational podcast that focuses on all things health related to help our listeners learn more about the various health topics and information they may not have access to. We seek to inform, empower, uplift, and mobilize our listeners to becoming the healthiest versions of themselves. And remember, you can catch us on Wednesdays on our website at www.nfcpodcast.com, as well as our parent website at neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org. And always, you can find us on our Neighborhood Medical Center YouTube page, our YouTube channel, rather. So make sure you go to YouTube, type in Neighborhood Medical Center. You see that red, white, and blue logo come up. You click on that, and you hit that subscribe button. You hit that notification bell. And every time we drop a video, you will have access to it. And remember, with this video, like, comment, and share. And remember, we're also available on just podcast platforms through Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and of course, once again, our YouTube channel. So here we are. Make sure you support us because we have a lot of efforts going on into the community, and the support that we get through YouTube and Anchor will allow us to have more resources to give back to our community. So as you help us, we help our community. That's the way it goes. All right. So, Miss Cara, we're getting into, you're going to help me understand more and help our listeners understand more about 5 wishes. But before we get into 5 wishes and why we're talking about this, can you give us some background information about yourself and how you got into the healthcare field, your background with hospice, and how that led you to working with Neighborhood Medical Center?
Okay. My background for many, many years had been case management. So I
Mhm.
did case management with seniors. I did case management with adult protection, child protection. I've been a nursing home social worker. And from that experience in the nursing home, it led me to working in the hospice field. So doing hospice, I was a liaison, a hospice rep, like a pharmaceutical rep. You know, I would do education in the community with the doctors and
Right.
with assisted living facilities and nursing homes and things of that nature. So from doing that, I started working at neighborhood after I took a break from hospice, and it brought me back to my love of case management. So
Okay.
that's how I'm back to doing case management.
Okay. So for those who don't know what case management is, or may not understand why case management is used, can give a brief explanation of what case management is and how it can be used to help people?
Okay. I kind of think case management, I think when you say to people like I'm a social worker, I think that gives them a better idea of what it is. So with case management, we help with resources in the community. We help linking up patients or families to what's available in the community to them, educate them about what's available, and do that linkage. So
Right.
we assist families with services that they may not be aware of. And some families sometimes need help with the actual application process or understanding what the services are. So it's our job to help them with all of that.
Okay. Okay. Helping the person access services and resources that they may not have known they existed before.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. And so how does, well, before I ask that question, because I said we're talking about 5 wishes.
Mhm.
So Could you explain what 5 wishes is for those who don't know, like
Okay.
myself?
5 wishes is a document. It's
Hmm.
a document that it's a living will, so you would say, or it's a legal document, and it goes beyond medical treatment. So in your 5 wishes, when you look at the 5 wishes, it is a specific document. So the title is 5 wishes,
Hmm.
and on that document, on the front cover, they tell you what the 5 wishes are. So it could be the person I want to make healthcare decisions for me when I can't, the kind of medical treatment that I want or don't want, um, the how comfortable I want to be, how I want people to treat me, and what I want my loved ones to know. So those are the actual 5 wishes.
Okay.
Um, what I would want people to do with 5 wishes is to think about it and fill them out. A lot of times when you approach someone about their 5 wishes, their advanced directives, they say, well, I'm not dying. Why do I need to fill that out? My example for that is when you leave wherever you are and get in your car and drive down the street, you can have an accident. You can't speak for yourself. Your
Right.
5 wishes is how you designate someone to be your voice. So you
Right.
put into writing what you want, how you want to be treated, what you want your loved ones to know, and you pick a reliable person who's going to follow through with that to make your wishes known. So
Okay.
it's for anyone over 18. It's not just for seniors. It's not just for terminally ill. It's for anyone over 18, so that when they can't speak for themselves as far as their medical desires are, and with the 5 wishes, it also covers some of your spiritual desires, some of your personal desires. You're putting it in writing, telling someone, this is what I want. I cannot speak for myself. I want you to speak for me, but follow what I want.
Okay. So, and to reiterate what you said, over the age of 18, you're eligible for 5 wishes to be able to fill that out for yourself.
Yes.
And this is you doing this for yourself, just in the event that anything happens to you. It's your living will, your legal document. I don't know if they can't the background, but it's your living will, your legal document to say this is what I do or don't want to happen to me in the event of any emergency.
Right.
Okay.
And what it is, and it's written in everyday language. So it's easy to read, it's easy to
Right.
follow. You check boxes, you can underscore something, and it even gives you spaces to fill in something. So you could write something specifically that you want.
Right.
Oftentimes what I see is that if you were to approach, like I'm going to use myself as an example. I've tried to get my husband to do his 5 wishes. Oh, you know what I want. No, I don't know what you want. I know what I want, and I know what I may want for you, but it may not be what you want. And so this allows you to actually say what you want. And that is the importance too of picking someone to speak as your agent that is going to follow your desires. So I always caution families to choose someone that you're going to designate to follow through with your 5 wishes. Choose someone that you know and you trust, and that's going to think with their head, not with their heart. So it
So,
does. Mhm.
okay, so in this instance, you're speaking of the family member or the agent.
The agent is the person that you designate to
Okay,
speak on your behalf.
and the
So
agent can be a family member.
it can be a family member.
That's just the term they use for the person to represent you.
Yes, if we're going
Okay,
to use the term agent.
gotcha.
But, like I said, be cautious, because for me personally, my youngest son is my agent, because I know he's going to speak with his head based on what I chose. My husband, my oldest son, may get emotional and say, oh no, do everything you can. We want this. But it's not what you want. It's what I
Gotcha,
want.
gotcha.
And I want you to follow my desires.
Because it could avoid situations. Because I've heard, we've seen dramatizations on TV where um, a person is in a has had a real bad accident or critically injured,
Hmm.
and that person may want to be taken off of life support, but
That's
they don't have a 5 wishes. But
Mm-hmm.
family members is like, no, it'll hurt me if that take them off. So they'll work more about their feelings than the actual person. So it's kind of
Right.
to prevent, for lack of better word, prevent somebody from further suffering or whatever's going on, and to avoid people's own emotions. Hey, I have this legal document, this 5 wishes, this legal
Mm-hmm.
document says, if this ever happens, then you can do this. And then
Right.
my agent is the person who is more of the literal logical person, and is going to stick to this. So okay, so with that being, so now I got a question. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So say I filled out the 5 wishes.
Yes.
I thought my agent was a logical person, but in this event, my agent decided to be emotional. Even though I have this legally filled out, can they usurp my wishes?
That's why it's important to choose your agent wisely. It can be a friend, it can be a neighbor, it cannot be your physician, it cannot be a nurse that's working with you, but it could be anyone else. And that's why I say choose someone who's going to follow your wishes and follow their head and not their heart. Because once we get emotional, it becomes about us and not about the person that you're trying to represent. So you don't want someone to make hard choices and second guess themselves when you can easily put it in writing and say that's what you want. So to your question, can they usurp? Well, this becomes a legal document once it is signed. So, it requires 2 signatures. You make sure you keep a copy. Your doctor should have a copy. The person who you chose as your agent should have a copy. It is a legal document, but, someone could always come along and, let their heart get in the way and do what they want to do.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
it is a legal document that's recognized, but there could be loopholes in places especially if people are looking for them.
Yeah, and that's why it's important that you have the conversation. This document allows you to have the conversation with your friends and your family so they know, look, I filled out this document. This is what I want. This is who I've chosen to speak on my behalf, my agent. So they're on the page. But when the rubber meets the road and it's time for them to put this into action, then the person who is your agent is going to follow what you want.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. That extra layer of protection, just in case. I got you, because now you got me thinking. Shoot, I can't think of one. I need a cold-blooded person for me. Somebody who's not gonna see me in the bed and like, oh my God,
right,
you're hurting my heart.
Right. And that's why I chose my son, my youngest son, because he's gonna say, look, y'all calm down with all that emotional stuff. This is what mommy said she wanted. Let's follow mommy's wishes, her desires. And that's what you want. I mean, it's a hard decision if it comes to the point of, do you want life support or not? If I already told you I don't want life support, then you get emotional and say, well, I don't want you to leave me, do everything possible. It's not what I want. You're doing what you want. So, your 5 wishes makes it easy for your family members to do what you want. Because those are hard decisions. Whether you're going to discontinue someone's life support or whether you're going to do CPR, things of that nature. Those are hard decisions to make. And you will always, second guess yourself. Is that really what she wanted? I don't know. We never had that conversation. So it's best to have the conversation. And that's why this is so easily written, so you can have that conversation. One of the ways I suggest that folks approach 5 wishes is in bits and pieces. Because if you sit down and talk to someone, they're like, look, this is morbid. I don't want to talk about what happens if I'm on, if I can't speak for myself. I don't want to talk about that. So, you can work around it. You could just start a conversation with someone and just say, if something were to happen to you, what kind of medical treatment would you want? What does life support mean to you? And you're getting the information that you want.
Okay, so I do have another question, but this question popped up since we're talking about this specifically. Okay, I'm a lot more level-headed. I don't really let my emotions get too caught up into things. So dealing with the 5 wishes process or dealing with this, how do you have these conversations with people who are definitely afraid to talk to their parents or talk to anybody about dying, whether it's their parents or themselves? How do you bring this up? How do you sit down with that I guess, well, sit down with your family, because I'm guessing sitting down with the person that you choose to be agent would be a bit easier because this is the correct person you're choosing, especially if you're choosing them off of logic. But for everybody else, how do you have that conversation with your family? Hey, this 5 wishes. This is what I'm setting up for myself. I want to let y'all know.
One of the ways that could be suggested to have the conversation, or one of the times, is like around Thanksgiving, because that's when families come together. Hey, I have this document. I want to share with you all what I want if I can't speak for myself.
Right.
It's not about death. It's about what I want if I cannot speak for myself. So you have to make it clear, just because we do this doesn't mean I'm dying tomorrow. It doesn't mean I'm terminally ill. Like I said, this is for anyone who's over the age of 18 or above needs to have this document, because anything can happen and you want your desires to be known. So,
right.
You break it down. No. This is not, a last will and testament. No, I'm not dying. No, but this is what I want you to know. This is what I want as far as my medical treatment. This is how comfortable I want to be. This is how I want people to treat me. Okay. So if you're, and it's so easy to have that conversation when you break it down to the actual 5 wishes.
Right.
Gotcha. And it can come across as just casual conversation as you just tackle it bit by bit or wish by wish. You don't have to say, okay, we're going to complete this document right here today and now, but let's just talk about some things. If something were to happen, who's going to speak on your behalf?
Yeah, pass me the potato salad, that turkey, and that 5 wishes package. So we can get down to talk. But
because it's your comfort level. If you're uncomfortable talking about what you want for yourself, then everybody around you is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. But I know specifically for our community, that's something I would like. And once this is Joseph Ward's ideal world, but I would want us to make death and our own mortality conversations that are not taboo, because death is just as natural as breathing.
Right.
But we don't like to talk about it because we think about it in terms of this is final, the finality of it. And that's based off of people's beliefs and stuff. I'm not gonna get into that here, but I would like death to be something that's easier to talk about, so we can better prepare for it. Because look, we come from the community, when somebody died, you're on the corner selling fish, just because you don't have basic stuff. So if we don't have basic life insurance, I know we don't have basic 5 wishes. And so how does not having, and before I get to my next question though, but how does not having 5 wishes complicate the process of doling out resources or what the family owns? How is that process complicated without a 5 wishes or some kind of will in place?
Now, remember, your 5 wishes is your healthcare advance directive. Okay. So we're not talking about your property. We're not talking about
so this is straight
things of that nature. This is straight healthcare advance directives, but it does talk about like spiritual desires. It talks about your like it could talk about your funeral services. what you want, how you want it to be conducted. It could talk about how you want to be remembered, things like that. So we're not getting into,
Gotcha.
well, this is, I want you to have my house. I want you to have, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about if I cannot speak for myself because of something that happened to me medically. I was in a car accident. I was terminally ill. I'm in a coma, something like that. That's when this comes into play, because you're telling what you want. Remember, the 5 wishes are exactly that, the 5 wishes that are on the front of that document.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's, how comfortable you want to be, because I can ask you, Joseph, how comfortable you want to be if you're in the hospital and you can't speak for yourself. You could just say, hey, I want to have clean sheets. I can take it a step further and like, look, I want my face washed. I want my mouth cleaned. I want my lipstick on. You can go that detailed and say, that's what I want, because that's comfort to me.
I want a satin robe.
I want, but
all that.
I want someone to be with me. I want someone to hold my hand. I want to have music. I want to have the ministry from church come visit. Those are things that you can say, or that you don't want, because a lot of times we assume something and we're going to send in all these people and they're going to, visit and pray over you, or, things like that. And that might not be what you want. So that's not causing you comfort. That can make you very uncomfortable. So you make it clear in the document what you want.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm gonna ask this question out of ignorance, and it's a straight assumption.
Okay.
So I'm assuming 5 wishes would be available across the United States, or is it specific states that have 5 wishes available?
5 wishes is available in several languages, and in most of the states. There are a few states that don't recognize 5 wishes, but it's available in 42 of the states and the District of Columbia. So
I'm surprised it's available in Florida.
It's available. Actually, the thing about it is Aging with Dignity, which is located here in Tallahassee, this is their document.
Gotcha. So agency. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so that's where you can request one. A lot of times hospices have them, funeral homes may have them, your doctor's office may have them. It's a form that you can pick up or request at several locations, and it costs nothing when you get them from those locations.
Right. Mm-hmm. So have you had the experience of sitting down with a family and going through the 5 wishes packet?
A little bit. Like I've done it with my own family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I know how it's so difficult, because when you try to bring it up, folks don't want to talk about it because they go straight to, oh, am I dying? So, you have to make it clear, look, I don't know what you want, and I don't want that burden of making a decision for you when I really don't know what you want. So, yeah, and it's easier, and it makes it easier. It was easier for me, again, to tackle it bit by bit and not just try to complete the whole document in one setting.
Right. Okay. So another question is, say a person already has a will together, or some kind of documents for themselves, as far as what will happen to them medically and what will happen to their assets and things.
Mm-hmm.
Can the 5 wishes be added to that, or can it be a replacement of something? So let's say I already have these documents in place, but I learned about the 5 wishes and I want to switch to 5 wishes, or make 5 wishes something that's additional to what I have. Is that possible?
You can have, like, if you have a regular will, like you're saying, with your assets and all, you can have 5 wishes also.
Okay.
In
conjunction with it.
Yeah, you can have in conjunction with it, because again, this is a legal document.
Right.
So now if you do your 5 wishes now, and 10 years down the road you want to make changes to it, then you could either destroy this one and create the new document. It's as simple as that. But it does not replace a regular will, a last will and testament. It has nothing to do with that one.
Okay. Okay. So, right. So the 5 wishes can be a great addition to all the legal documents that you already have, because the 5 wishes will cover you as far as what happens to you medically and your experience in these last few days. So does it have a expiration date? So let's say I fill out a 5 wishes at 18, because all right, I just say this. Oh, it sounds crazy, but I didn't think I was gonna live past the age of 21, because that's what they already told. We heard it every day. We heard every day growing up, especially in high school, we heard that Black men don't live past the age of 21. Black men don't live past the age of 21. So, you know, I was like, well, 21, I don't think I'm gonna die, but there's a good chance I might die. So if I'm 18, if I have that mindset and I'm 18, I fill out the 5 wishes, but I end up living till I'm 80. Is this 5 wishes still valid, or there's expiration date, so it doesn't need to be updated?
There's no expiration date, but you should update it, because your life is completely different, and your thoughts and your beliefs and all may be different at 21 or 25 than they were at 18. So, as you grow and change, you may want to make changes. You may want to change the person who's going to be your agent,
Right.
So you can make all of those changes.
So what's that process like? Because like I have the 5 wishes packet right here in my hand. And so who would I go to? Would I have to go to this specific agency that produces these? Or who would I go to legally to be able to update the 5 wishes?
All you need is another document. So
okay.
All you need is another document.
Okay, so as long as I have access to these 5 wish documents, I can update information and all those things. Okay,
that's correct.
Complete the 5 wishes. The 5 wishes is something that's extra document in conjunction with everything else that we have. And what's this last thing? So after the 5 wishes, we've sat down. Oh, excuse me, I do have this one question. So is there a specific person or a specific agency that will handle the 5 wishes? Because I'm just trying to wrap my mind. Okay, I have this packet. After I complete this packet, well, let me ask this. This is a better way to ask it. I have this packet. After I complete this packet, who do I turn this packet into?
Okay. Once you get your signatures, remember you have to have 2 signatures on it. It does this document becomes legal once the signatures are on it. It does not have to be notarized, not in the state of Florida. Now in Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, it has to be notarized. But here in the state of Florida, Georgia, it does not. Okay. And what you do after you've completed your 5 wishes is you talk about it with your healthcare agent, with your family members. You give them copies of your 5 wishes, of your completed 5 wishes. Okay, you keep the original copy and you keep it in a place where it can be found. So don't put it in your safe deposit box. Don't, put it where when it's needed, they don't know where to look for it. And that's why you make sure your family members or your friends know that you have completed this and it exists. I have 5 wishes. This is where it can be found. Okay. There's a little wallet card that's on the bottom of the document on the inside page. You could keep a copy of that. Talk to your doctor. Make sure your doctor knows that you've completed your 5 wishes. It's a good idea to give them a copy as well. If you go into a nursing home or the hospital, you can give them a copy of your 5 wishes. Now, oftentimes when you go into the hospital, even if you go for like a same day treatment or something, they will give you an advance directive, which is the same thing, because this is an advance directive. However, it's not the 5 wishes. So it doesn't go into, again, those 5 wishes that are listed in the front. So it may just cover, what kind of life support you want, or, something like that. But it's not going to cover how you want to be treated, what you want your loved ones to know, all the extra things that 5 wishes covers.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And I see, looking through the packet, I see that specific things or certain things are going to be specific for the state that you live in. And so it's saying residents of Wisconsin must attach the Wisconsin notice statement to 5 wishes, and there's a website for that. And it said residents of institutions in California, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, New York, North Dakota, South Carolina, and Vermont must follow special witnessing rules. Okay, so the packet will let you know. So this is a nationally distributed packet.
Yes.
That already has the clauses built in or the specifics built in for the states.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's very easy to read. It's not written in any kind of legal jargon. It's not written so that you won't understand it. It's written so that the everyday person can understand what they're telling you, what it is, and how you go about completing the form. It's a really simple form. So difficulty in completing it is definitely not a reason to not complete your 5 wishes.
Right. Gotcha. And once again, anybody over the age of 18 can complete this 5 wishes. It's not just about people who we think may be on their deathbed, but anybody could fill this out. Just legal documentation to cover yourself in case of any tragedy that may happen. So how after filling out a 5 wishes for yourself or sitting down with your family, what mental or emotional state are you in, or how do you feel? How are you feeling after you complete this package?
It's empowering because you've told them what you want. Okay, I said it. I've expressed it. I don't have to worry about you trying to make decisions for me when you don't know what I want. And then it helps your family, so that they're not charged with trying to make decisions for you and not knowing what you want. So it's kind of it relieves the burden, because again, anything can happen to us at any time. And the worst thing to happen is when you have several family members and everybody's on a different page. So you may say you have 3 kids, and 2 of them say, well, mom wanted not to be on life support. But then you have the other kid that says, oh, no. That causes friction. It can break families up, things like that. And it's easier when everybody is on the same page and understands what you want. It just lifts so much of the burden off of everybody trying to second guess, trying to, think what you want. They're not sure, you don't know what kind of guilt they may carry if they make the decision to do this. And well, maybe it wasn't the right decision. Maybe it's not what she wanted, but they don't know.
Right.
So, it helps everyone involved when you know what someone wants for themselves and they've expressed it themselves.
Yeah. All right, community. We got to step up to the plate. No, seriously, we have to step up to the plate, and we have to be better prepared for death and mortality. We have to be better prepared for it. We know there's the things we don't like to talk about, but we work in the healthcare field, and especially we work in HIV/AIDS. So we fully understand that if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to hurt yourself. But also taking care of yourself means make sure your business is in place. So it could make any other process, any other transition that you go through, can make it smoother if you have the proper insurance or proper things in place to help you. So, yes. So, Miss Cara, I appreciate this. I appreciate you hopping on here and us having to sit down and go over 5 wishes. Where can people find these 5 wishes packets?
Actually, you can look online and you can see samples of them, and you can see the document. But folks could, if they need copies, if some of the places we talked about, like the hospitals or their doctor's office, if they don't have them, they can always contact the agency, Aging with Dignity. And their telephone number is 888-594-7244. 7437, or they can go on their website, which is www.agingwithdignity.org.
Okay. You hear it, you see it, Hey, so I definitely appreciate you sitting down, being a part of this and being part of our team as well. Got this information that we can use. Look, our whole goal is to make sure we are equipped and empowered so we can build up our communities and be better and stronger and move forward and make it better for the next generations that come behind us. We always want to leave them with something better than what we found it with, and that's why I'm so big on us building for ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and make sure that we're putting the right foot forward, connecting with the right people, building a real community, a real healthcare community, but just a real community of people who are invested and dedicated with improving ourselves and each other in our communities, and that's what we're all about. So if you're about that, then we're on the same page and we can be friends.
There you go.
There you go. So you can contact Miss Cara. You go to our Neighborhood Medical Center website, www.neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org. Email is cbrown@neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org. Other than that, you want to learn more about it, you got to contact me. I'm her agent and her bodyguard, so you gotta go through me. But just contact us if you want to learn more about Miss Cara. Remember, all of our information is in the description of this video. And remember that Mind Your Body and Soul is an educational podcast that focuses on all things health related to make sure that our listeners learn more about the various health topics and information they may not have access to. We seek to inform, empower, uplift, and mobilize our listeners to become the healthiest versions of themselves. Every Wednesdays, www.nmcpodcast.com, neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org. We're also available on Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and of course, our home here on this YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff so you can make sure you stay down with what we have going on. The mission won't stop. Even when the COVID calm down and we get to go all the way back outside like we want to, guess what? We're going to have this in addition to our community works. Oh, yeah. Also, March 10th, coming up March 10th, it is for National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. We are hosting, Neighborhood Medical Center is hosting a panel discussion, and Ms. Cara is going to be our moderator. So it's Women Empowering Women, our 2022 virtual panel discussion. The subtitle is, How Are Women Currently Impacted by HIV/AIDS? Our panelists will include Dr. Danielle Williams, Dr. Jasmine Simmons, Miss Elena Steeple, Miss Geraldine Ward, Miss Melissa Walton, and Miss Sheila Morris. And we will be live via our YouTube channel right here on this YouTube channel, and our Neighborhood Medical Center Facebook page. We will have the link to the YouTube channel stream is already available. The link to the I don't know why that does it, but Facebook will be available a week before, but we'll make sure we advertise. And you, like I say, you can tune in live via our right here, our home, our Neighborhood Medical Center YouTube channel, or our Neighborhood Medical Center Facebook page. And the Facebook link will be available next week. So make sure you all join us for that. I'm trying to think of any other events that we have coming up before I can't think of that. So that's it. So that's what we got going on. So make sure y'all contact us and connect with us and help us out and just be the best version of yourself. So I'm Joseph Wood. She's Cara Brown. And we are out of here. And she thinks she cool because she got her glasses on. Not just playing. See y'all later.